And you believe civility is a fundamental aspect of your role on the Tennessee Valley Board, if confirmed?
I absolutely do, Senator.
Yes, and thank you for answering those questions honestly, and I think it appears to be a recent sentiment. If you'll take a look at the tweet that we also found, that's me with darker hair, much shorter, in 2015. So you can see that Beth Geer tweeted out at Fox News and at Senator Joni Ernst, hideous. Can you explain that tweet?
I can't read it. I apologize. That's not a way of getting out of answering the question. But what
I just read it to you.
Well, I heard that. Sorry, but what was the quote?
The quote is, "The new Republican Congress also understands how difficult these past 6 years have been," from my State of the Union response in 2015.
Senator Capito's time has expired, so we'll allow you to answer the question, but then we have to move on to the next witness, so please.
Okay. Well, I apologize if I offended you, and I appreciate your bringing it to my attention. And I do, in fact, believe that civility is key, and I'm sorry that I did not demonstrate that in your opinion with that tweet.
So, Ms. Geer, we'll go back to the tweet. Maybe you've had time to refresh your memory a little bit, and I'm not sure if you've made a habit of calling women that disagree with you hideous, or if it was simply an exception, but please let me be very clear. I stand by everything that I said in my State of the Union response back in 2015. Folks, this tweet is from 2015. I've heard a lot about tweets in the former administration. This is prior to that. This is not Iowa nice, folks, and I'm calling you out. So in my speech, I stated that we should move forward with the Keystone Pipeline, a decision that President Biden reversed and which has played a role in the rising costs Americans pay at the pump. I talked about the importance of confronting terrorism and threats like Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, who under this administration is now back in charge of Afghanistan. I discussed my own experience as the first female combat veteran to serve in the Senate, and how we must always honor and care for our veterans, something President Biden has touted as part of his unity agenda. Ms. Geer, when you called me hideous, were you referring to my appearance or to the views that I held and are held by many Americans across this country?
Well, thank you for the question and for the clarification. Obviously, was not calling you personally hideous, and certainly not your appearance. And again, I apologize if it came across that way. I mean no disrespect.
Ma'am, I'll cut you off right there. How else could this come across? The word hideous, to me, only has one meaning. And the views I expressed in my State of the Union response were personal experiences. So maybe you didn't appreciate that I grew up on a small rural farm in an economically disadvantaged area of Iowa. Maybe you didn't like that my mother had to put bread bags on my shoes when I went to school. Maybe you didn't like that, but a lot of Americans have had the same experiences that I have had. And so to call my personal views as hideous is an affront to half of America. So I have no further questions for you, but I appreciate your time and attention today. But I think in a world that is begging for civility, we should give them that civility. And I don't know that you can bring that to this Tennessee Valley Board. So you know I am a no, and we'll see how your nomination goes. I am ranked, just for benefit of those that are here, I am ranked as one of the most bipartisan senators of either party in the last 25 years. Out of all of the senators that have served, one of the most bipartisan. I think it's important that we all work together, but when you're starting off on a foot like this, it's really hard for us all to work together. Thank you, Ranking Member.